Love that theme song for our favorite personal injury attorney, Karl Truman, and so glad that you made it from the barbecue stand into the interview set.
That's the kind of courtroom I want to be a judge in.
I bet.
Exactly. Sounds good.
276-2118 is the number to call for legal questions that you may have for Karl Truman right now. The number that you just saw up there on the screen a second ago was his brand new number, and I really like that a lot. It's 222-2222 for
Super
Truman
easy.
Law. Easy to remember. But right now, go ahead and dial 276-2118 if you have a legal question for the Colonel, Karl Truman. What'd you think about that barbecue?
Excellent. I can't wait to get back to finish my judging.
Yes, he's sticking around for the whole hour today because we have another contender coming in. And boy, it is going to be an exciting morning out there. Karl,
Yes, it is.
there are so many things going on during the summer that require the good advice of an attorney. And you're the one that we're going to turn to, both in Indiana and in Kentucky. And it makes a difference that you can practice on both sides of the river.
Well, that's true. And as I point out in past shows, is that since I'm licensed in both Indiana and Kentucky, you know, a lot of times attorneys will want to do, you know, a case. I guess they feel like they don't want to lose the business, and so, they're going to handle a case in another state. You know, I actually got a call recently from an attorney in Alabama who has a case here locally, but he's still trying. He's not licensed here, and he's still trying to do it himself.
How does he do that?
Well, I don't think you can do it well.
No.
And so, this attorney's basically calling me, asking me what he needs to do under, you know, Kentucky
Wow.
law to handle it.
Right.
And he said, well, if I can't get it settled, then, you know, I'll call you and refer the case to you. And so
Bizarre.
it's one of the things a lot of people don't even stop to think about is
Yeah.
that the lawyer has to be licensed in the state where the case is pending. You know,
Yes.
so, and also, let's say if you live in Kentucky and get hurt in Indiana, you know, you need an attorney licensed in Indiana, or the other way around. If you know, you need an attorney licensed where the case is pending.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely
makes sense.
amazing.
Well,
And
very interesting.
Allison is on the phone. She has a legal question for Karl Truman. Go ahead, Allison.
Allison?
Yes.
Okay, Carl's
ahead.
listening.
Morning.
What's your question?
I have a question. I'm a 29-year-old independent, and I live by myself.
Okay.
And I was diagnosed manic depressive and also post-traumatic stress disorder and bipolar 2. And I was wondering if there's any way that I can get help, like with disability.
Well, certainly, it sounds like you would have a good claim for Social Security disability, so you know you should apply for Social Security. One of the questions that obviously we don't have time to get into a full discussion on a program like this, but you know, what is your work history? Are you eligible for Social Security disability or SSI? Because disability, you have to have work credits to build up the entitlement. Where SSI, it's much less a benefit, but you know, there's income limits. So if you don't have an earnings history, so it kind of depends on which benefit you'd be eligible for. The definition of disability is the same for each one, but if you're eligible for disability, then the benefits are better than SSI. So you know, certainly I would encourage you to apply. It doesn't cost anything to call the Social Security Administration and make an application.
And Karl, you would get involved if that application was declined, right?
Well, we get involved in all stages. We get involved in situations where someone wants us to help with the initial application.
Okay.
We do that. Some people want to just, you know, they'll go ahead and apply and then wait and see if they get declined,
Yes.
which, you know, 8 out of 10 cases are declined.
Wow.
Over 80% are declined, you know, by the initial application. And so some people will say, well, I'll just apply and see, and then if I get declined, then call you and take it from there. So we
Wow.
handle both aspects of that.
Okay. Well,
Well,
Carl, we have
Mailbag.
mailbags all the time. We have a mailbag that's talking about teenagers. This is from Sarah in Louisville. She says, I have a teenager in the house that's about to get their learner's permit.
Wow.
I am a nervous wreck. Do I need to add any coverage to our insurance, or will he be covered if something happens and me or my husband are in the car with him? It's from Sarah.
Well, that's a good question, and certainly you want to talk to your insurance agent to know what coverage you have. You know, again, I've talked about on the show before about pulling out your declarations, called a declarations page, which lists all of the coverage to make sure you have adequate coverage, for liability, uninsured, underinsured, all of those coverages. But generally speaking, your policy should cover you with a learner's permit. At some point, she'll have to be added as what's called a named insured, and that's something you have to talk to your insurance agent about. The other thing you have to keep in mind too, and because this is something that we run into occasionally, is that someone has to sign for financial responsibility for a teen driver. So until they turn 18, let's say when she gets her driver's license and she's driving off on her own, and if that teen driver is in an accident, the parent who signs that financial responsibility is also personally liable for any claims. So,
yeah. No wonder she's a nervous wreck.
Well, no kidding.
I would be too. Real quick, is there a time limit to file for workers' compensation? Because Ryan is asking this question. He was hurt on the job a few months ago, has some lingering pain, hasn't filed anything yet. Is there a time limit, Karl?
There is, and I can't just give a blanket time limit for every single case, because there are different facts, different circumstances. So, but as a general rule, you have 2 years from the last date of the compensation benefit or the TTD pay. But again, don't rely on what I'm saying over the on the television as far as, oh, my case is this. That's not what I'm saying.
Yes.
But as a general rule, the statute is 2 years from the last date of benefits.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much for that great information, Karl. You can reach him at 222-2222 or Truman Law.
And get some more barbecue.
That's right. Got to finish my judging.
Thanks for being the best judge and the best lawyer, Karl Truman. Count on the Colonel.